What is going on, everybody? As you can see behind me, we are today checking out the brand new Tesla Model 3. This is the 2024 long-range new Tesla Model 3. So we're gonna check out the range, we're gonna drive it, we're gonna see how quiet it is, how smooth it is. A lot of things have changed, and for the positive. There are a lot of visual differences, as you can see the headlights, but the headlights are also now matrix LED, which unfortunately we don't have the software update for this on this vehicle, but there is a software update out there rolling around where the car can turn off its headlights in individual areas to keep its lights off of other vehicles, which is just so awesome. Now I know if you're in Europe, you've had that a while, but that's pretty new for us in the US, and hopefully that will be coming to Tesla's other vehicles that have these headlights already installed, like my 2023 Model Y that I own and the Model S and X that are being produced now. All of Tesla's cars have this hardware, so the software should come shortly after. The new Model 3 is also more efficient, it has better range, it's quieter, it's more comfortable, and we're gonna go over all of that today and check it out in this video. So let's first go around the exterior and check out everything new. All right, so to start off here, I've opened the frunk. Let's check this out. It is slightly different. The amount of room is about the same as what you got before. It opens nice and easy. It is not an auto frunk unlike the Cybertruck, unfortunately. Maybe that'll come eventually. But the biggest change here is your windshield washer fluid is now up front, which is awesome, much more convenient. It used to be back here. Not that big of a deal, but in a taller Model Y or other vehicles, it's just farther away. This is more easy and more convenient. Let's see how easily this closes for us. And you're supposed to do two hands, one on each side. But that's my method. It felt great. It closed really well. Again, here are the headlights. So, you know, whether you like them or not, that's personal preference. I think they look really cool. Some people don't like them at all, but it is what it is. Now, there are no fog lights anymore. All of that is all built into this headlight, and it gives you a much plainer look up here. And of course, Tesla's always looking to save a buck, so that's less they have to do to the bumper, less they have to install in the car, just like the ultrasonic sensors. So that helps them produce this car at a cheaper price, which is great. The price didn't actually really go up with the new Model 3 in the US, which was very cool to see. So you have the new Aero wheels here. These are the standard 18-inch. They'll give you the best ride comfort, the best range and everything. There is an upgraded 19-inch wheel you can get as well. And these Aero covers are brand new, and they do come off. So let's check them out. So this is what it looks like when you have the cover on, and like every other Tesla vehicle, this should just yank right off here. Sorry, Tesla, on your demo car, I hope you don't mind. And this is what it looks like underneath. That looks really good. Of course, if you were to take that off, there is a center cap you can put in there, and then other caps that go around the bolts right there, which would make it look a lot cleaner and more like a finished vehicle. But with it off, I think that looks great. I'll leave it up to you to judge though. And then as all the others, you can just slap it back on. A lot of people were asking me about the tires. So again, these are the 18s. They're 235 by 45 18. They are Hankook, and there was some controversy when people first heard about that. I don't know, I guess people think it's a cheap brand or something. We'll have to see over time if they hold up, but I don't think Tesla's gonna, cheap out on tires for you. I'm sure that these will perform well. I will say the short time I drove over to the filming location on these, incredibly nice ride. Crazy smooth. The suspension was great. It was so quiet. I will use a decibel meter to test it out in a little bit, but it felt so good so far. Here is hardware 4. So finally, Model 3 has hardware 4. That is every Tesla vehicle now coming with hardware 4. So any new Tesla you buy will have hardware 4 on it. This vehicle right now does not have full self-driving beta, although it does have autopilot. So I'm not sure if that's Model 3s in general or it just needs a software update. I'm guessing it's ready to work. It just needs a software update. I don't think you should be waiting too long if you take delivery. Along the rest of the side here, things are pretty much the same, except for the tires, of course. Now coming to the back, big difference here. You have the cool Tesla logo in the back there. Again, personal preference. I think it looks great. It used to be just the one big T in the middle here, which I know I didn't really care for. I don't really care about that either way. But I think this looks better. All personal preference. And then you get the new taillights, which finally seeing them in person for the first time, they look really cool. In videos, I was like, okay, I guess they look fine, but I couldn't really tell much of a difference. But in person, there's like more dimension to them. There's kind of depth. They're not flat here like the old ones were. It does look very nice. Accidentally opened the charge port, nothing different there. And we can open the trunk here. The only difference really we should see here is, of course, it's automatic. It's been that way for a while, but the taillights will go up with your trunk. And this is what your trunk looks like open. Now, if you're a Doug DeMuro fan, you know you can't have your lights on a moving piece of bodywork. He says that all the time. And so there are some lights in here that can illuminate when the trunk is up. Let me go actually press the brake. I'll set this camera here and see if we can get those to light up. There, actually, I put the hazards on, and there you go. You can see that even though the trunk is up, you can still have some hazard lights back here. Let me put the trunk down and see what happens. So if we put that down, it's probably going to transition. And now they're all on. Oh no, so the bottom ones did turn off as I expected, and now only the top hazard lights are on. So let's open the trunk one more time to see that. And as that's opening, it immediately transitions to these lower lights turning on. Very cool. I am interested in the camera housing though, so you still have 3, hold on. So it's kind of an overcast day, I can't get a great view of this, but you still have the dummy camera in there, even on this refreshed Model 3 with 2 red cameras. So who knows if Tesla is planning to add something else in there or not, but that's the setup you have now. All right, let's hop in the new Model 3. This door does feel really good. I know there was a lot of noise made about the door feeling and how it closes and how it sounds. I don't know, I don't care about that at all, but here you go. It sounds good, it sounds solid. Opening it feels really good. Who cares? Something you've probably seen in other videos is there's this new little ankle biter here. Just kidding, you actually can't. Let me show you. If I put my leg here, I can't touch that piece that's sticking out, but again, some people were scared it was gonna stab them. It latches in here and gives you additional safety on the vehicle in case of a crash. I think this was something they had to do for Europe, and glad to see it made its way over here to the States to give us increased safety as well. I reach in here. Is there a secret treasure? Nope, nothing really to grab onto or anything. Then this piece is solid, doesn't move. Cool. All right, hopping into the front of the car, it came with this little demo drive thing. Most things will be familiar here. Of course, the steering wheel is different. You do still have your front interior camera that's looking at you, which actually is really important because a lot of people don't like that. It's kind of weird for you to be watched all the time while you're driving, and that's where today's sponsor, Delete Me, comes in, because you probably don't want to be watched all the time online either. They have went through thousands of records online for me and deleted my info from hundreds of sites. On top of that, Delete Me has saved me hours of work doing all of this for me on my behalf. They delete the data from data brokers, and these brokers will collect your information, they'll sell it to other entities, and this puts you at risk for phishing, identity theft, and other scams. So you definitely want this taken care of. Delete Me was able to remove my personal information such as my phone number, my address, previous addresses, and my full name from multiple websites. You'll also get a dedicated privacy advocate that you can talk to if you need any help or assistance, or you need extra information deleted. Delete Me will directly talk to you and help you out with any issues you have. Use my link down below to save 20% on Delete Me and get your data and the data of your loved ones protected today. Thank you so much to Delete Me for sponsoring this video. Now in the front, you also have cooled and ventilated seats. So let me turn the heat off. And you can probably hear, that's the ventilated seats. They feel really good. They remind me of the Model X. Because of the ventilation, the seat is a little more firm than what you'd get in like the Model Y or Model 3, the old one. But the seats still feel really good. It's not as hard. In our Model X, I actually think I prefer Model Y seats to Model X because the Model X ones were just so hard. They weren't uncomfortable, but they were different enough that I didn't like them as much as the Model Y. This is kind of a nice mix between them. Feels really good and comfortable. All right, so sitting up front, let's start with the steering wheel. Of course, you no longer have stalks, which I prefer. We had this on the Model X for a while, and I really enjoy it. I think people that think it's gonna be bad but haven't tried it should really give it a try. I do prefer it, not everybody will, but that is my opinion, and I actually really, really like this setup. These buttons are no longer capacitive like they were on my Model X. They are clicky. Hopefully you can hear that. Let me bring the mic closer. So that is actually clicking to turn the turn signal on and off, and you can go back and forth either way. Super easy to use. You're driving along, boop, you just turn that on. Your brights are right here. If you just click it, you can flash them. If you want to turn your auto brights on, you can hold and let go. That also at the same time will bring up all of your settings here for your lights. So if I hold this, I can see my lights are on auto and auto brights are on. I can turn auto brights off if I want. I can turn them back on. I can turn the headlights on or auto or whatever I want to do. This symbol right here is not clicky, but it's denoting that the wheel can go left, right, up, or down. Over here, we actually have a new button. So right here, this will bring your cameras up. It's dedicated to do that. Little weird in my opinion when the car is supposed to be getting more and more towards autonomy and doing everything for you. I'm surprised they put a dedicated button for this, but I love it. I do use, obviously if you go into reverse, this comes up automatically, but it is nice to use the cameras, especially once these vehicles, it's pretty certain that eventually all Tesla vehicles are gonna have a front bumper camera. I could be wrong, but that's my assumption. And this will be really useful for that and getting into parking situations and stuff. Down here, again, this is not clicky, but it's showing you this is how you adjust your speed when you're driving. And then this, you can click for a single wipe, and it also will bring up your wiper settings right there. So you can click it and change if you need a different wiper setting than what is present. You can then hold it and it will clean your windshield. I'm probably the first one to clean the windshield here. And then over here is your voice assistant. No, just kidding. I didn't mean it. Close enough. Didn't understand. I didn't understand either. So that's the steering wheel. Horns in the middle. So that's good. Everybody wanted that, so I'm glad Tesla brought that back to where people wanted it. But everything about it is really nice. Driving with it was nice. We're going to do that in a second. And then there's a nice pattern here that kind of goes throughout the car. So this is kind of like the ventilated seats here. And you have it also, let's look down here on this. So let's look at the center console because this is the other kind of big change in the interior. So this looks really solid, but it feels not hollow, but just a lot lighter than I would have thought. This is a textured pattern that you can feel. It looks awesome, and I love the look. Now, this portion is a little more flush with the sides than in the older vehicles. This is a little bit more pitted, like it's kind of like almost indented here in the older vehicles, and I loved putting stuff there while I was driving, and as long as you didn't turn too hard, it would kind of stay in this area. Now, you kind of lost this little table area. If you put something here and it slides, it's just going to slide right off. So, just so you know, when you open this up, this is kind of like the S and X. You can push these back. This back one is pretty interesting. I don't know if you can tell, but as you push back, it goes down. So it first goes down and then slides back. It all feels really good. This piece is solid and does not move. There is, if you go down in here, a shelf. Hopefully you can see that, but in here there's like, you can go all the way back there and store stuff up high there. This, of course, goes pretty deep in there, and there are no more USB-C ports in here, so there's just a light in there and nothing else. For your USB, you have to go back here and open this up. You just have a single USB-C right there. So that's kind of weird. And then storage goes back into here. And there should be, man, did they get rid of the 12 volt? They might have got rid of the 12. Oh no, the 12 volt now is over here. So the 12 volt is up in this area, and it used to be in the armrest. So interesting to see that. The other thing I will say about the armrest is this is magnetic right here, which is just awesome. Such a good improvement. It's these small things that just like make life better. So that's really nice to see. All right, the other big thing in here is the ambient lighting. So let's go into the settings. Give me a second to find it. Probably in lights. Yep, there it is right there. Accent lights, they call it. On or auto. So they'll probably turn off during the day, I would guess, in auto. I don't know what that means, but there you go, auto. And then we'll just keep it on, and you can click here and choose any color you want. So as I go around the wheel, you can see it's actually changing in real time with my selections there. So very nice. We'll put it on blue. That looks good. What about like a turquoise? Oh yeah, that's pretty nice. So whatever color you want. This is something, there's white right in the middle. This is something I don't really care about, but people really wanted this, and I'm glad Tesla brought it because people wanted it. And it goes, of course, all the way around the car. Very cool to see. The interior feels really good. This is new here as well. This is kind of like a textured pattern instead of kind of that fake plastic or wood that they would have before in the either white or black trims. You have the perforated look continued here as well. It all looks really good. It looks really refined and feels really good and is nice and quiet. It looks like you can also add colors. Ooh, wow, you can add a bunch of quick select colors. So if you want to kind of cycle through these are suggested up here. So we got purple, actually looks pretty good. Pink, lime green, orange, yeah, all of those. So they pick some punchy colors there, blue, white, to kind of demo to you. And then if you have some favorites, you can add. I wonder how many we can add here. I'm just gonna keep going. Let's see. Okay, it's replacing them now. So you can have up to 8 additional colors that you want to have down here, and then they have the 7 kind of pre-selected colors up there. Very cool to see that level of customization. In the back seat, I think, on the interior of the car, again, a lot of noise has been made about this. You can see the ambient lighting, which is new in new Model 3 and in Cybertruck, and probably coming to the other vehicles very soon. A lot of noise about the back seat actually maybe isn't more comfortable. Well, I'll let you know. I've owned Model 3, Model Y, Model X, and I will let you know what I think here. Let me turn this camera around. Yeah, okay, the door thunk's pretty nice. All right, so sitting in the back seat here of the Model 3, and it feels similar to the Model 3 I remember. The thing I don't like is, and you know, other people complain about this as well, you can see my legs are up high. I'm 5'9", just so you know, for your height comparisons. My feet are flat on the ground. I seem to have, you know, a good amount of room for my feet here, and this chair was positioned nicely for me to sit up there. But you can see my leg, if I pull this up, is not touching the seat until about like here. So I have all of this that's up, and you know, maybe for a long road trip you'd get fatigued. For me, I would probably just lean like this, and now I'm pretty much fully supported on the seat. Again, I don't find it the end of the world. It's not awful, but it could be better. This could be higher up and give you some more support on your legs. Other than that, though, it feels fine. It feels good. Headroom is fine. Again, 5'9", so maybe if you're like 6'2"-ish, you're going to start to run into trouble here. But it feels fine. the seat feels cushiony. It doesn't feel that different from the old Model 3 to me in the back here. So your seat backs are different now. Instead of being the pocket that they were, kind of weird. It's like this hard, like you could like wear this as a bulletproof vest, I feel like. And you got this spongy material here. And then this kind of stuff would fall out. So not my favorite design change. I don't know why they did that. All I can think is Tesla's, again, always about reducing parts, making things simpler to construct. So this must have been easier. And, you know, I'm sure their data showed that nobody used this back here anyway. So they're like, well, whatever, let's do a cheaper version. Again, not the end of the world. I wouldn't change my car buying decision on it. But I feel like this is slightly worse than what it was before, although it does feel very sturdy. So that's good. And then one of the biggest things here, the back screen, let's see, will it turn on if I, nope, let me open the door here. There you go. Now this is awesome, hold on. Now having a back screen back here is just awesome. It looks great. I mean, it's like very high definition, it's big, it's very easy to use. And now if you have passengers back here, they can control all of their own stuff. So if we tap that, now the fan is on, whereas pretty much everything I'm gonna show you here, you used to have to do on the front screen in the front of the car for your rear passengers, and they'd have to ask you and blah, blah, blah. So you can change where this is hitting you. Look at that. So you can adjust the fan, you know, manually like this, like you've always been able to, but you can say I want it on my face. You can see that immediately transitions. I want it down lower, it'll go lower, or you can kind of put it wherever you want that way. Same here, can you combine these? Nope, you can't combine them. They're always going to be two. In the front, you can combine them. And you can then control what you need here. So that's the fan speed. This is faster, slower. So you only get two settings there. And then you can control your heated seats back here. Now, negative compared to the old Model 3, the rear seat is not heated anymore. Again, I don't know. I don't think it's a big of a deal. I wish it was there. I think they should have left it, but it's gone. The way I use my car doesn't affect me, but I could see that mattering for some people. Now the rear passengers can automatically, or sorry, not automatically, but the rear passengers can control their heated seats, which is so nice, not having to ask, and like maybe if someone turns it on for you, it gets too hot, and you're like, what the heck, and whatever. So you can control it from back here. You can control your media here. Of course, you have to be connected to Wi-Fi. I guess this doesn't have premium connectivity. If you did, then these would all work without Wi-Fi. And then games, there's a bunch of games back here, and man, this screen is fluid, everything is working so nicely. And then settings, you can add Bluetooth headphones back here. So if you go to Bluetooth device, am I on there? Oh, sorry. Add new device right here. Before we add your device, make sure it's turned on and discoverable, so start search. Let me see if I can connect my earbuds to this real quick. There we go. So there is my earbuds. I made them virus, so if anyone else sees it, they're like freaked out. They think they're getting hacked. So click that. These are the Samsung Buds 2. And it says it's added, connected. Let me put one of these in. So yes, I can confirm right now the sound is going into my earbuds. I mean, that's gonna be like 1 second. These are just random Samsung earbuds. They're, you know, nothing generic, but they're also nothing special. And I can hear this game in my earphones. That's awesome. And that just worked so well. Great job on that one, Tesla. So outside of what we talked about, ambient lighting, which you can edit up front. You got the Alcantara on the doors, some speakers, whatever. I will do a little sound test for you. And that's the back seat. You also have these lights in the back. Sorry, my camera, I don't know if that's focusing on that. But they're not clicky, but they are capacitive. So you touch them, and they do seem to have some type of like timing on them. So if I wait a second, it works great. But if I try to like quickly go back and forth, you can see they kind of delay. And then if I wait, so that's really nice. They actually have some type of like smarts to reject accidental touches, it seems. So if I'm just like fiddling here, it won't happen. Wait a second, and then it works. Very cool. And then you have your hooks here for clothes and stuff. That's no different. That's the same as current Model 3. No handles though for getting in and out, unfortunately. Something I forgot to say about the rear seats, you do have the cup holders here still. Those were always there. And you do have two USB-C ports down there so you can charge your devices. All right, so let's take it out for a drive. Key card actually goes here like the S and X now, which is really nice. Unless you have your phone down there, then your phone's in the way. So there you go. Probably not the most flattering angle, but yeah, that's fine. That'll do. Okay, so to put this into drive, you can boop just like that. And I wonder if it has, if we go into pedals and steering, auto shift out of park. So auto shift out of park actually isn't even calibrated yet because this car is so new. Let's go here real quick. It only has 25 miles on it. And we're on 2023.44. So 2024. I think 2 or .4 is what has the matrix headlight, so we can't test that today. And I will try to do auto shift out of park, but I have whole videos about that for my Model X. And it's telling me press to drive, the accelerator pedal. So if I press the brake, nothing happens. Press that and it starts moving. You can see also we have the high fidelity park assist already enabled on this new car. So let me not talk here for a second. And hopefully it's coming across to you. the car is very smooth and very quiet. So we have a new Model Y that has an amazing suspension on it. It feels so good, and this feels the same to me. It feels similar, so silky smooth. It feels so much better than the 2021 Model Y that I drove here in, and so much quieter already, even at these low speeds. But we're gonna take it on the highway, and we're gonna take it, I'm already reaching for my, my stock, but I am used to using these turn signals on the steering wheel. All right, so we turn out, and we step on it. Acceleration feels great, as you would expect. I don't think the acceleration specs changed. I don't remember off the top of my head, though. I kind of wanted to go north, but I guess we're going south. So let's change lanes here. I'm still reaching for my stocks. I drove all the way here with stocks, so of course I'm used to that. And let's get on the highway here. So a little more road noise as we get faster, but let's hop on the highway and see how it feels and how it sounds. The suspension is just, our roads are destroyed right now because we just had lots of snow and freezing weather, and the suspension is just eating it up. I can tell that they're down there, but I can tell that the suspension is muting them like crazy. Let's go faster on this. Oh my gosh, it feels so good. So planted, as you would expect. We can take off, do a lane change here. Is the auto lane change turned off? It is, so there you go. Car will automatically turn off lane change. We're going 80, I didn't even realize. Feels very nice, very smooth. Let's change lanes here one more time. And we can we turn on autopilot? Should be right there. So autopilot is not enabled. Ah, darn it, I forgot. I'll have to stop and turn it on. But we do have traffic cruise control going right now. We can go 75. Feels good. So road noise is fine. It's better than my car, but not, I wouldn't say it's significantly better. Wind noise is good. Extremely smooth ride though. Oh my goodness. Let's check out the, well, I'm not gonna look at the efficiency now because I was kind of stepping on it. Let's change lanes one more time here. I'm just gonna get off so I can turn autopilot on and we can test that out. But yeah, feels really good. Let's go into here and reset trip A. Reset. We're going at 75 here. Let me just go to one more exit to turn around, and I just want to see what, so we're looking at current drive. I want to see what efficiency we get. Going 75 miles an hour on the highway. It is 37 degrees outside, so not very warm. Colder than a lot of people will experience. Well, I'll get a lot of crap for that one in the comments, but that's okay. 163 watt hours per mile. How is that possible? There is no way. 170 on the highway? What the heck? All right, let me skip ahead and see how it goes, but wow, that's crazy so far. Got a pink Model X there. Texting and drive. Okay, I didn't know. No, I'm not calling you out. So unfortunately we did hit some traffic here, and so our watt hours per mile is going to be better, but I mean, you know, it's a normal driving situation to hit some traffic on the highway. 158 watt hours per mile just does not even make sense. Wow, that is really low. I mean, again, but we're going 55, like that's not that slow. That's crazy. So I'm gonna take over here and get over. Obviously the car can't do any of that right now. It doesn't have the settings set up for that. We also do have our blind spot monitor here now. That's another new thing. It's in the Cybertruck as well. So if somebody is in our blind spot, you'll get a red dot over here to kind of warn you. So it's showing me do not change lanes to the left. Pretty nice. I mean, that's fine. It's never something I really missed. It's also on the screen. So if I turn my turn signal on, you can see we have red there and we have red here to kind of show us like, don't do that. Let me turn that off so I don't confuse anybody. But it's just an additional piece of security. I'm sure that costs like a fraction of a cent per vehicle. So why not throw it in there? I'm noticing this heater is like wicked. So in my 2021 Model Y, I keep this on medium. So right now we're on low and I keep mine on 74. And I have it down to 72 and it's like almost still too hot. The whole drive here, same weather and everything, I was at 74 medium in my 2021 Y. We're at 70 and low, and I'm like, this is still too warm. Get off me. Jeez. All right, so at that stop, I was able to turn on autopilot. One click there, autopilot is on. Unfortunately, no lane changes. It's not navigate on autopilot or anything, but we can try it out. It's hardware 4, whatever, it's doing its thing. I'm sure it works just fine. So I'll do this myself manually. And the turn signal did not turn off that time. So we'll turn this on. And now we need to do some decibel testing here. So please pay attention to the road as expected. I was kind of doing that on purpose to see if it was going to yell at me. And let's see here. So I'm going to click reset. Well, I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to click reset. All right, so here's the highway data at 70 miles per hour. I'm going to compare it to my 2021 Tesla Model Y. On that one, I only did 60 and 50 mile per hour tests. So I'm going to try to do a slower test here once I get off the highway and see how the sound compares directly to those slower tests in the older Model Y. So let's talk about the screen. It is slightly improved here. It is slightly bigger and has smaller bezels. It does look nice. It's not a dramatic change, but I can tell something is different. If it wasn't pointed out to me that those were the changes, I'm not sure I would have picked it out, but it feels incredibly smooth in terms of frame rate. I noticed that also on our 2022 Tesla Model X that we had. The screen in that was so much nicer than our even 2023 Model Y. And sorry, I'm not used to driving myself. So the screen's very nice. It moves around so smoothly. It's responsive. Now, even my 2021 Y that has the Intel processor is smooth and feels good, but it's the frame rate is not as good and things take a little longer to load. This is just like another level beyond that. I don't think it's a dramatic difference from a Ryzen Model 3, but it is a difference. The screen looks a little brighter. This isn't the full brightness though. Let's see here. Display. Oh, it was pretty close to the full brightness. So that is pretty close to the full brightness. Let me turn off. Oh, there. Wow. Yeah. Okay. So that's full brightness there. It was pretty close. I can tell it looks nice and bright. I couldn't tell you, that it is brighter than the older display because I don't have one, right next to me. But Tesla says that this one is brighter. It looks really good. I mean, it's a little cloudy here, but it's still bright because it's like white clouds, and it looks great. But we'll keep that on auto. Let's do a backup test here. Put it in reverse. We'll go for this spot, and it's picking up those lines nicely. So that's working really well, just like in our Model Y. And it looks like it's just kind of displaying the snow there. And it tells me to stop right there. I'd say that's the perfect spot. Oh, it does pick up that pillar too. Awesome. Looks really good. New Model 3 is a respectable upgrade. I'll be getting some more time with this vehicle. So if there's anything else that I didn't answer in this video you want me to cover or talk about, please let me know down in the comments and I will get to that in the next video. Hit like, get subscribed. See you next time.